So this is the 2018 Leave Insert Ordinary Level Paper 1 and we're looking at question number 6. Part A says solve for x and it gives us this equation here. So we're going to multiply out the brackets, tidy it up and see what we're left with then. So we can multiply the x by both terms in the next bracket. So that'll give us x by 3x is 3x squared. X times minus 4 is minus 4x. Then we can multiply the 5 by both those terms also. 5 by 3x is 15x. 5 times negative 4 is minus 20. And then we're going to multiply this negative 3 by both these terms. So that'll be minus 3x squared. Minus 3 by 2 is minus 6. And then we still have this plus 4 equals 0. So now we've multiplied the brackets out. Now we can highlight or identify like terms. So we've got x squared terms there and there. We've got x terms here, here, and that's it. And then we have the constants there, there, and there. So we're going to combine the same colors. So 3x squared minus 3x squared, well that's just, gives you 0. Minus 4x plus 15x, so that's 15x minus 4x, another way to look at that is 11x. And then we've got minus 20 minus 6 is minus 26, plus 4 is minus 22. So you can use your calculator to help you if you need to. Okay, so now we're going to move this minus 22 across. It'll become plus 22. So that will give us 11x on the left equals 22. 0 plus 22 is 22. And now we divide both sides by the number in front of x, as always. Number in front of the unknown. These cancel, leaving me with x equal to 22 divided by 11, which is 2. That's my answer. You could verify it by subbing it back in here in place of x and checking that it gives you 0. That'll be a way to check your answer. Okay. Part B says find the solutions of 5 over x plus 3 minus 1 over x equals 1/2, where x cannot be equal to minus 3 or 0 and x is a real number. Now, you might wonder why they say this, but if x was minus 3, let's say x was minus 3, you'd see here you would have minus 3 plus 3, which is 0. This would become 0, and the denominator of a fraction, if it's 0, means you're dividing 5 by 0, which can't be done. You cannot divide by 0. Similarly, if x was 0, this bit here would become 0, and you'd have the same problem. So that's why they say x cannot be those two. So don't worry too much about it, but that's why they're saying it. Okay, so with equations involving, algebraic equations involving fractions, the easiest way to approach them is if you write the question out, but spread your fractions out a bit, give yourself a bit of room. So 5x minus 1 over x is equal to 1/2. So I'm spreading it out just so I can kind of show you here what's going to happen. So I'll do this in another color. What you do is you multiply each fraction by all of the denominators multiplied together. So in other words, you multiply each, so that's coming from the denominators. That one, that one, that one. You multiply every fraction by this. So the same here, you're going to multiply this by x plus 3 by x and by 2. And the same in here, you're going to multiply this by x plus 3 by x and by 2. It doesn't matter that these are either side of the 1. They're all getting multiplied. Now the reason we do this is because you can now cancel. So, you know, when you multiply something by a fraction, that thing if it's a whole number, if it's not a fraction itself, multiplies the top effectively. So what happens here is we can cancel those two. Over here we can cancel the x with the x, and over here we can cancel the 2 with the 2. So what does that leave us with? That leaves us here with x by 2 by 5, so that's 10x, minus 2 by x is 2x. So this is, sorry, it's minus all of this. So it's, I'll just write this again. That's minus 2 by x plus 3. I won't do that just now. So it's minus all of this top bit. So you got to protect it with a bracket there. Okay, equals 1 by x plus 3 by x. So 1 by anything is itself. So really we have x plus 3 here by x. Okay, so now we can start to tidy up 10x. Here you've got, we leave the minus outside first. So 2 by x is 2x, and 2 by 3 is 6. And that's equal to, now we're going to multiply the x by both of these. So x by x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. And then over here we got the 10x. Now minus by 2x is minus 2x. And minus by plus 6 is minus 6. Watch out for that. That might have caught people out there. You may have had plus 6 there. Is equal to x squared plus 3x. Okay, so now we're going to keep tidying up. So 10x minus 2x is 8x. Minus 6 is equal to x squared plus 3x. Okay, now I'm going to bring everything over to the right and form a quadratic equation. Bring this over, change its sign to plus 6. So on the left now I've got 0 is equal to x squared. 3x minus 8x is minus 5x. And then I have my plus 6. Okay, so now here's my quadratic equation. I can solve this by factorizing or by quadratic formula. So I'll just do factorizing. I'll just write it over here. I'm going to write it backwards over here. X squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. I'm just writing it left to right now instead of right to left. Okay, so what are the factors of 6 that combine to give negative 5? So if I find them, I can do the factorizing method. You can use formula here, minus b formula. But it's an easy one to factorize. So factors of 6 that combine to give negative 5, that would be minus 2 by minus 3. Because minus 2 by minus 3 gives me positive 6. And minus 2 minus 3 gives me minus 5. So minus 2 minus 3. So now I have a bracket by a bracket giving me 0. Well, that means one of the brackets must be 0. So we go split screen. We imagine x minus 2 is 0. If the first bracket is 0, well, that means x must be 2. That's one answer. Or x minus 3 could have been 0, which means x must be 3. So there are my two answers, and neither of the answers are these ones here. So that's okay, and they are real numbers. So that's the end of the question.